Samurai Legends, Book 0, Episode 1, Izanagi and Izanami. Izanagi, having been formed from Kodo Matsukami, began acclimating to having a physical body. He looked towards his female counterpart and said, "You are?" Izanami stared up at him and responded, "You are not me anymore." Izanagi looked down and exclaimed, "We, us, you." The concept of company brought joyous cries upon their lips. Izanami looked at his sword and proclaimed, "That tool of yours must be used to destroy." She looked at her bucket. "And I must be a creator." She dipped her hand inside the bucket carelessly and scooped up a handful of creation essence, an aqueous substance like that of water. She screamed in agony, as if the power of creation wasn't meant to be held, and the water fell to the earth. Without purpose, it quickly swallowed the world. Izanagi swung his sword, and the creation ceased. Izanami, ashamed, lowered her head to stare at her hand. "It hurts. Am I not strong enough to create something?" Izanagi cut his sleeve and tore it to 2 pieces. He used one to wrap her damaged hand, then tied the other to the end of his sword. He then dipped the blade into the bucket. Then he asked Izanami, "Will you place your hand on the sword?" Confused, she questioned his odd request. "Why? I'll just ruin the world if I attempt creation again," she said while shaking her head. He placed his hand on hers and replied, "Imagine we had a place to stand amongst the water, a world we created, a place of grand elegance. We can create it together. We created this universe. Now, together, we shall create this world. Our utopia." He placed her hand on the hilt together with his, and they pulled the sword from the bucket. A few drops from the tip of the blade hit the water, and from those minuscule droplets a mass of land started to rise. Izanagi and Izanami descended there gracefully from the sky, their feet planted firmly on the ground they had just formed, and a smile crept upon Izanagi's face. "See? Together, we are strong enough to create." They spent many years sculpting the land, giving life to plants, making caves and rocks, mountains, trees, and so much more. At last, they crafted a palace in the sky from where they could view the world they had built. Izanami looked at the bucket and said, "There's still so much left for our utopia. I think it's time now." Izanagi smiled and responded, "Then let life begin."